Live from West Virginia's capital city with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law, with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
Welcome in to the 2 o'clock hour, the final hour, Wednesday edition of Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. State Senator Tom Willis is going to join us a little bit later on in the half hour. And after 2:30, it's Open Line West Virginia. This is Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
Welcome back to the show. It is 7 minutes after 2 o'clock. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. Whatever's on your mind in the world of news, what's going on in your hometown, whatever you got. 1-800-765-TALK. That is a phone number. Or you can text 304-TALK-304. The state's premier outdoor sports show back and bigger than ever. 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am. Returns to Milam Park in Morgantown Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th. Over 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors and over 200 vendors all in one place. Complete details at WVOutdoorSportsShow.com, a WVRC media event. Did you know that this week is National Entrepreneurship Week? This is something that's been around for a few years. We're going to get the history of that and find out what it means to you. Amber Ravenscroft, can't read my own typing. Amber Ravenscroft is the director of the West Virginia Entrepreneurship Ecosystem, and she joins us now to talk about it. Good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for being here, and I apologize for butchering your last name. I wrote it out, typed it out, and couldn't read my own typing. How bad is that?
That's okay. It's a tough one.
It's not that tough when you can read. It's really not that tough. All right, what is National Entrepreneurship Week?
Yeah, absolutely. So National Entrepreneurship Week was federally chartered in 2006, and it was designed to increase the knowledge of entrepreneurship as a career pathway for youth in America. And it was rebranded in 2016 by myself and my colleague, Joe Kapp. We were working on a partnership with the National Consortium for Entrepreneurship Education, and we really wanted to focus on the gambit of education across the United States that was focused on entrepreneurship and small business. So it's designed to make sure that folks are aware that entrepreneurship is available and accessible to everyone, and that there are plenty of folks supporting entrepreneurs everywhere in every community across the United States.
How would you, in your opinion, Amber, how would you define entrepreneurship?
Sure. I think that's actually such a great question, and I think that's one that we tackle often with the West Virginia Entrepreneurship Ecosystem. Being an entrepreneur doesn't mean you have to have the next startup unicorn. We simply define entrepreneurship as anybody that took a risk to start a business and follow a passion or an idea that solves a problem for somebody else.
So what is the idea behind your organization, though, this entrepreneur ecosystem? I mean, what's the benefits of getting people together under that umbrella?
Absolutely. West Virginia as a state is really it's a small business backbone. We know that 98% of our businesses are small, meaning that they have limited number of employees, they stay within their local community, and they really are the backbone of their local community. And what we also know is that entrepreneurs often feel like they're alone when they're getting started. So the West Virginia Entrepreneurship Ecosystem helps to connect entrepreneurs and helps them navigate the various resources that are available in the state. And we work with the resource providers to make sure that they're collaborating, that they're offering specific services that aren't duplicating efforts, and that everyone is working together to support entrepreneurial development across the state.
What are some of the most common questions that you get from budding entrepreneurs?
Where do I start?
Okay.
is always,
well, you can talk all you want. I'll just turn it over to you, and I'll run downtown and get some coffee. How's that?
Yeah, I could be here forever. So I do think that, one of the first questions that we get from entrepreneurs is typically what resources are available to me. That's kind of my job, is to provide triage and navigation. So what resources are available to me? Is my idea good? What funding is available? And what licensing or actual regulatory processes do I have to do to get this going? Are kind of the big four, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Again, we're talking with Amber Ravenscroft, who's the director of West Virginia the West Virginia Entrepreneurship Ecosystem on National Entrepreneurship Week. What are you seeing out there right now as some of the current trends in entrepreneurship?
Sure. Sure. So I just came from the West Virginia Outdoor Economy Summit, so I have to give credit to the incredible growth that's happening across our state in terms of its outdoor economy. We've seen a boom in outdoor recreation, and there is a tremendous backbone across that. I would also point to, we have some tremendous natural assets around energy that we're looking to kind of really maximize. So beyond sector specific, we've got incredible collaborations happening across the state. Things like the West Virginia Creative Network, which is designed to support artists. Things like the Investor Collaborative, which is designed to make navigating capital easier. So we have sector specific growth, and we've just got incredible collaborative growth happening.
And you talked about that summit, and we've mentioned it on the air as well. That summit that's been going on here in Charleston. I think that you're a part of that. This thing with the growth in outdoor, with tourism and outdoor business in general, not just the tourism part, it shows no signs of slowing down at all.
No, West Virginia is poised to lead the nation in that space, and we've been working closely with those folks to figure out how can we maximize what the broader entrepreneurship ecosystem is doing in terms of support for outdoor business owners, but also how can we leverage what makes West Virginia unique to make it a place for all business owners to want to do business beyond even just an outdoor economy business.
And, one of the great things I think about the networking that you talk about and under that umbrella is sometimes, and we see this so often across the country when it comes to budding entrepreneurs, they have an idea, they have a passion, they have something, but sometimes they don't know all the stuff that can go into it. Because it's one thing that I can make, something. I'm the least artistic person in the world, but let's just say it's one thing I have a skill that I can do this, but I may not know about the HR aspect of it.
Yeah.
I may not understand the how to deal with employees. I may not understand the insurance. I may not understand what kind of loans, what kind of grant programs are available out there. And I don't know how much of that you get into, but I'm sure you do get asked questions like that a lot within the scope of your job.
Yes, absolutely. I was in a panel today, and Mark Burdett with the SBDC said something that really struck me. He said, a passion is not a business model.
Yeah.
So that's something that we really work on supporting in the entrepreneurship ecosystem. Is there's this perception sometimes that entrepreneurs have to know it all, and that's very untrue. There is a wealth of resources that can help you navigate HR when you're getting ready to hire your first employee. We have incredible accounting, marketing, legal firms. My job in the West Virginia Entrepreneurship Ecosystem job is to make sure that an entrepreneur doesn't feel overwhelmed navigating all of that they know when is appropriate to build your own skills and when is appropriate to ask for help, and to create a space for folks to ask for help.
And they can learn so much from each other too.
Yes, the peer networking is essential. The best way to learn is to learn from others that have gone before you.
You can learn what they did right, and sometimes they'll tell you what they did wrong.
Absolutely. The failure is the best learning tool we've got as entrepreneurs.
Agree 100%. Again, we're talking with Amber Ravenscroft, who's the director of the West Virginia Entrepreneurship Ecosystem. It is National Entrepreneurship Week. I understand that there's an event coming up in Morgantown later in the spring, the 27th of April through May the 1st, Bridging Innovation Week. It's going to be in Morgantown. Talk about that.
Yeah, so Bridging Innovation Week is the go-to gathering if you're interested in entrepreneurship within West Virginia. We typically rotate it around the state. It's the first time it's been to Morgantown, and it's a jam-packed several days of programming. There are local tours, networking opportunities. We do the West Virginia Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Conference every year during Bridging Innovation Week, and we also do Competition Day, which is back-to-back pitch competitions from middle and high school students all the way up to ventures that are ready to scale. Last year, we gave out upwards of $500,000 in non-dilutive funds, which means free money for entrepreneurs. There was no equity taken. And then we do some youth programming on Thursday. So it's really just the place to be if you're interested in supporting entrepreneurs. If you're thinking maybe you've got an idea that you want to explore, we try to convene folks, everybody that's interested in one space, to maximize that networking effect.
Well, and we'll have you on. I'll make a note to myself to try to have you on again as we get a little bit closer to that, because I'm sure you've got deadlines and things of that nature, so we want to make sure everybody can attend that event in Morgantown, April the 27th through May the 1st. Amber Ravenscroft, the director of the West Virginia Entrepreneurship Ecosystem. Tell people where they can learn more about any of the things we talked about today.
Absolutely. So we make it easy because we know entrepreneurship is hard to say and harder to spell. So you can reach out to us at WV
Oh,
Super simple.
okay.
Connect at
Can you do that again? Because you cut out just a little bit on us.
Okay, absolutely. So you can reach out via our website, wveshipecosystem.org, or you can reach me at connect@wveshipecosystem.org, and I'm happy to chat with anyone and everyone interested in this space.
All right. Amber Ravenscroft, we appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Take care.
You as well. 216, and I will say this. The only thing harder than spelling entrepreneurship is pronouncing it sometimes. I was in one of my jobs that I had in a former life, I did a lot of business outreach in the world of state government. I don't think that to this day I've learned how to correctly spell entrepreneurship without having to look it up. Sometimes I spelled it so badly that literally, like, the spell check would just be like, what? But good stuff, Amber. I appreciate her being here. It's 2:17, Open Line, West Virginia, coming up at the bottom of the hour. And when we come back, State Senator Tom Willis is here. Stay with us.
The Mountain State Assessment of Trends in Community Health, or MATCH, is a survey sent to 88,000 West Virginian home addresses where the information you provide can support policymakers to direct resources to help your community. If selected, you will receive the survey information and invitation in the mail. You can complete the survey online, by mail, or by phone, and you will be compensated for your time. Visit wvmatchsurvey.org for more information. Helping your community is a touchdown for West Virginia.
At Glenville State University, we are pioneers. With over 45 undergraduate degree programs, 17 NCAA athletic teams, and countless campus organizations and activities, we're here to help you build your story while becoming a part of ours. Glenville State University, your dream, your future, your story. Visit glenville.edu today for more information.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement, and we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
On the next State of Minds.
My dad always said, don't let any one individual control your destiny, what you do, what your value is. And I wasn't about to let Paterno do that to me. I mean, it was just a phenomenal time, my first game, and to be accepted as a Mountaineer.
Disease control and prevention.
.222, we got breaking news here, courtesy of the voice of high school sports in West Virginia, Fred Persinger. We'll talk about this a little bit more after 2:30. The West Virginia Secondary Schools Activities Commission Board of Directors voted, actually last night, to approve girls wrestling as a preliminary sanctioned sport beginning with the 2026-2027 school year. We'll get into that story coming up when we get into Open Line West Virginia at the bottom of the hour. Hey, if you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan that includes room, board, tuition, and fees is upon us. 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline, though, is May 3rd. Details available at WVMetroNews.com, and the application deadline is May 3rd. We will get to Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. Want to welcome into the show now, though, State Senator Tom Willis. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the show.
Great to be with you. Thanks for having me on, Dave.
Thank you for being here. And I know that you're out amongst them, as my grandpa would say, at the Capitol right now. We appreciate you taking a little time out of your busy schedule today to be with us today. What do you think has been the most important bill that you in particular have been a part of during this session, or maybe that's come out of your committee? What's been the most important thing to you?
Well, we've had a lot of good things happen in the first half of the session. I'm proud of the work we did in my committee on the anti-abortion bill, Senate Bill 173, that would make it illegal to ship abortion pills into the state so we can truly be a state that protects life. I'm sure you know most abortions across the country are performed with the abortion pill as opposed to in a clinic. And so this bill was an important one, absolutely. We've got some heavy CPS work we're going to start doing next week. In fact, we're getting ready to announce that we're holding a public hearing next Monday, and so look for an announcement from the Senate staff on that. That'll go out to all the press, but we're going to really take a hard look at CPS reform, and I'm excited to tackle that going into next week.
Well, I don't want to scoop anybody yet, and if you can't tell us, that's fine, but do we know, is that to be a virtual or would it be an actually in-public meeting? Do we know any of the details yet?
We're looking at doing it in person, and I don't want to get ahead of the clerk's
I got
office.
you. I understand.
They're working out all the details, but just be on the lookout for that. That'll be a press release coming from the Senate staff, and it'll be, as I understand it, it'll be next Monday. So keep an eye out for that. And then next week in my Judiciary Committee, we're going to be hitting CPS, child welfare bills hard all week. We've got quite a lot of bills from a lot of different senators. We've been paying close attention to West Virginians. This is a priority issue for a lot of people all around the state, and so we've been listening, and I think we've got some things that are going to really help.
Talking to State Senator Tom Willis. I guess the big news out from under the dome today, Senator, has been all the discussion about the Hope Scholarship. I know that there have been those that said that there needed to be, and forgive me here, there's been some that have said that there needed to be some more guardrails put in. Others say not so much. Where are you, or what is your reaction to what's been discussed with the Hope Scholarship?
Well, I think that putting any limits on the Hope Scholarship is just absurd. People don't realize that President Kennedy, when he came to West Virginia to give us a speech, he was decrying the fact that our education results were so low, and we were near the bottom of the pack, and we needed to do better. And think about how long ago that was. So for decades and decades, we finally have been able to start moving the needle. And the reason is because we've offered parents what they should have had all along, which is the authority and the funding to make education decisions for their children. And that way, the free market principle comes into play, competition comes into play, and parents can put their kids where they're going to have the best chance for success, because parents know their kids best. So, for instance, let me give you a couple of personal details. I'm a military guy. I've been in the West Virginia National Guard for 26 years. We've lived all over the world on different military deployments, and sometimes we would move into an area halfway through the year, and we would just choose to homeschool. Sometimes public schools, sometimes private schools, but just depending on where we were, what the situation looked like, what child of ours we were talking about. Because my daughter was a social butterfly and loved team sports, so she was a public school kid, and then my son was very introverted and had a lot of medical issues, and so we did some private school and some homeschool for him, and we got great results by having that flexibility, and I think that's what West Virginian parents deserve. And the attack on hope from some areas of our state are really unfounded. The drop in enrollment in the public school system, it's primarily due just to the fact of natural demographics. West Virginians just haven't been having enough babies. We've dropped public school kids around 280-some thousand down to 230-some thousand, not because of hope, just because there haven't been new kids coming up into kindergarten to replace the ones that are phasing out, just because West Virginians aren't having enough kids. So I think that there's an effort to make the Hope Scholarship Program the scapegoat for the poor performance of West Virginia schools. But I'll wrap it up and leave you with this statistic. In the last couple of years, the number of students in West Virginia public schools has dropped by about 20%. So you would think that the administrative staff, the non-teaching staff, would also drop, at least by 20%, right? Wrong. It's actually gone up. So from where it was a couple of years ago, at the same time, student enrollment has gone down by 20%. Non-teaching jobs, bureaucracy jobs, admin jobs has gone up during that same period of time. So I think that's the root of the problem, not the Hope Scholarship.
One quick question before I let you go, and I know you're on a tight schedule here. There's been work completed on Senate Bill 1, which was the Small Business Growth Act, and I believe it was one of the first pieces of legislation sent to the governor for that. Tell us about the Small Business Growth Act real quick.
Yeah, it's basically we've been focused on creating economic development from day one. And this one just streamlines the permitting process so that when folks go to talk about a business, it's things are happening in one place at one time, from registration to permitting. And we're going to keep working on economic development the rest of this session. I've got a bill that cuts regulations. For everyone that's introduced, 2 have to be removed. And we're going to try to make West Virginia one of the most competitive places to attract businesses in the country.
State Senator Tom Willis, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Dave. Have a good one. So long.
You as well. Coming up after the bottom of the hour, it's Open Line West Virginia. Your chance to weigh in on any subject that you wish. 1-800-765-TALK. That's the phone number. I like phone calls, but you can text me too. 304-TALK-304. Back after this.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with the
of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. What started as an argument among fans turned into a felony arrest in Nicholas County.
Summersville police say 57-year-old Ronald Stroop Jr. of Princeton and a fan from Nicholas County were in a verbal argument that kept getting more and more heated. Repeated requests by police to Stroop to calm down were ignored until they say they decided to escort him out of the gym. Then he became more belligerent, and officers decided they were to arrest him. But when officers went to put Stroop in handcuffs, Chief of Police Brad Reed said things became much more serious.
A handgun came out of his waistband, fell to the floor, and the guy grabbed it and would not release it while the officer was giving him orders to.
Stroop now faces charges of possession of a deadly weapon on premises of an educational facility, brandishing, obstruction of an officer, public intoxication, and disorderly conduct. He was taken to the Central Regional Jail. I'm Chris Lawrence, WVMetroNews.com.
State Treasurer Larry Pack says proposed changes for the Hope Scholarship Program are drastic. The changes are in a bill that originated in the House Finance Committee earlier today. The bill hasn't been voted on yet. You can read more about those proposed changes. Story from Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhaney this hour at WVMetroNews.com. Also at the Capitol today, a pro-coal rally. The House and Senate have wrapped up their regular floor sessions for the day. Committee meetings this afternoon. You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Brighten your mornings with Tudor's $5 sunrise specials. Enjoy our Mary B, egg, crispy bacon, and cheese on our buttery biscuit, loaded with more bacon than the rest. Or try the Ron, featuring a bigger, hearty sausage patty topped with egg and cheese on a biscuit so delicious you'll savor every bite. Each combo comes with crispy hash browns and your choice of coffee or iced tea, all for just $5. Warm up winter mornings with this hot deal. Available for a limited time.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to WVMetroNews.com to apply. That's WVMetroNews.com. Remember, application deadline is May 3rd.
The West Virginia Airport Managers Association has unveiled its latest West Virginia Aviation Hall of Fame class. This is the class of 2025. The inductees, Colonel Ralph Abertazzi, Colonel Ralph Cowgill, and Senator, the late Jennings Randolph. The 2025 West Virginia Aviation Wall of Valor inductee, Lieutenant Colonel Richard Hunter. Those released earlier today by the Airport Managers Group. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
After my wife died, I felt like I lost everything, including my love of fishing. But one day, my granddaughter called, and I realized I still had a lot to look forward to. I got referred to a psychiatrist who explained depression can happen to anyone. Getting help doesn't make me weak. It makes me stronger. I just wish it made me better at fishing.
Mental health care is working for Diego. See what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. 26 away from 3 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon. It is Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit SalangoLaw.com. Ryan Nichols and Stephanie Pauly, our producers today. I am Dave Allen, and we are heard all over the great state of West Virginia. Great radio stations like our flagship here in Charleston, WCHS, WJLS in Beckley, WD&E in Elkins, WKMZ Clarksburg, WVW Logan, WKLP in Kaiser, WAJR Morgantown, WEPM Martinsburg, WKKX and WVLY in Wheeling, and WSLW in White Sulphur Springs. Open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. I kind of mentioned this. We'll get to your text here momentarily, but I kind of mentioned this earlier. Fred Persinger has alerted me to the fact that last night, the West Virginia Secondary Schools Activities Commission Board of Directors voted to approve girls wrestling as a preliminary sanctioned sport beginning with the upcoming school year. Now, this does establish an official girls wrestling state championship supported by a regional qualifying format. The girls-only championship will be conducted separately from the boys' state wrestling tournaments. Wayne Ryan, executive director of the SSAC, says the organization is excited to add girls wrestling to our championship offerings. We're proud of the growth and progress that this sport has made in recent years, and this move gives these athletes a clear pathway to compete for state championships while allowing schools to continue strengthening and expanding their programs, in quote. More on that to come. I'm sure the folks on the high school sports line will talk about that tonight. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says homeschool children need to be tested to see if they're being educated and can perform at any grade level. If not, those kids should be sent back into public schools. Homeschool parents need to be tested to see if they're able to educate at a high school level. If not, their children need to be sent back to public schools. West Virginia is screwing its future by letting uneducated people educate their children. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says, Trump bringing back coal, huh? Go down to your beloved hometown and ask them about that. You know, appreciate the text, but sometimes it seems that there are those that text this show or other shows, Talkline or whatever, and seem to get some kind of a joy out of people losing their jobs. And I don't understand that. Dave, Texas Dave, Republican here. I'll not be voting for a single Republican who refuses to have town halls or at least meet with their constituents. 1-800-765-TALK. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says it's about time Shelley Moore Capito used her position for something other than self-service. Text says, so let me get this straight. Kanawha County is losing students, laying off employees, but the superintendent gets a contract extension. Make it make sense, according to a texter. Well, you know, we have stories posted about WVMetroNews.com. Superintendent Paula Potter, who was in her first term, if you will, she's a 30-year educator, but in her first term did get a contract extension from the Kanawha County Board of Education. And you can go back and read the comments from the Kanawha County BOE President Rick Cavender. It's part of Jeff's story that he did yesterday. And are there issues with public schools all over the state of West Virginia, all over the country? Yes. Are they working hard to address those issues? I think so. And I, for one, and again, not only do I not have kids or grandkids, I don't live in Kanawha County. I live in Putnam County. But I would say I think that overall, I think Dr. Potter is doing a great job. And one of the things that I really enjoyed about, I had Dr. Potter on our local show in Charleston last month when it was one of those days when it's iffy on whether to call school or whether to make it remote learning day or 2-hour delay or whatever the case may be. They made a mistake. She went on our local show in Charleston and she owned it. She point blank went on and said, hey, I messed up. She didn't say my department. She said, we messed this one up. Actually, she said, I messed this one up. So I appreciate somebody like that. Text says, why would the whole group sell the property now that the county and city just got $7 million to build their project? That property just increased in its projected value. This has to do with the announcement that came, big announcement that came earlier today. We talked to Charleston Mayor Amy Schuler Goodwin and County Commission President Ben Salango about that the city and the county, the area, has just gotten $7 million. It had been held up a little bit, $7 million to go forward with this proposed sports center in Charleston. And this is not something new. And I say that because I read a comment on X that somebody said, well, this is just campaigning because Mayor Goodwin is up for re-election. Commissioner Salango is not. Shelley Moore Capito, who was part of the meeting today, Shelley Moore Capito is up for re-election. This has been in the works since 2021. That's how long that they've been working on this. As far as the whole group, that's the group that owns the mall, the town center, and I don't know, because we're all over the state of West Virginia, I don't know how many of you regularly make it down to Charleston. Many of you be coming down for the girls and boys state basketball tournament here in a couple of weeks. Charleston Town Center ain't what it was in 1988. I can tell you that. But that's not the fault of the city of Charleston because the city of Charleston doesn't own the property. They are working with the whole group, the owners of the mall, to work out some kind of a deal where perhaps the whole group would donate the mall. But I've just heard so many people, on the radio in Charleston that said over the years, well, the city needs to do something about this. Well, it's kind of hard to tell private property people, as long as they're not breaking the law and they're paying their taxes, what they can do on their own property. But hopefully we'll get somewhere. And I have been a proponent of this this proposed Capitol Sports Complex in Charleston ever since I heard about it in 2021. I think it's a no-brainer. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text said, heard you talking on the local show about that accident out on Corridor G yesterday. I sent you a video on Messenger. The truck driver was not at fault. And I received several of those. And let me give you folks outside the area a little bit of background, okay? Yesterday, I left the office, left the studio here a little bit after 3. I had an appointment. I had to go back to my hometown, back to L.A., Logan area. And normally it's not very far from downtown Charleston. I get out to what we call the shops at Trace Fork, which that is, there's restaurants out there. You got Kohl's. You got all these things out there. And traffic was completely at a standstill, which is always the case when you're trying to get somewhere. Well, I get up to the accident, and I see that there is a tractor-trailer truck that's turned over on its side. And I was just wondering to myself, how in the world does that happen? Because if you travel through that area, you don't get a whole lot of speed through that area. And I wasn't blaming the truck driver. I was just asking the question, how does it happen? They had to divert traffic literally up by the shops at Trace Fork and back down the other side. And the fact that I was delayed a little bit had nothing to do with it. I mean, I was wondering how it happened. And apparently on the realms of, in the world of the social medias, the dash cam video of the driver was circulating everywhere. It was after I got off the air this morning, the local show in Charleston. And apparently, if the dash cam video is real, which I have no reason to believe it's not, a car pulling out of that shopping complex, literally, I mean, it couldn't have been more than a couple feet, pulled directly in front of this truck. And the truck driver, to avoid hitting the car, went to the right, hit the embankment, and rolled over. And that answers the question, how did that happen? And I would say this, and I say this on behalf of all of my truck driving buddies out there, and I'll probably get a giant amen if you're listening to me in your truck right now. Big trucks cannot slow down as easily as cars can. And I don't know what that particular driver was thinking, but by watching the video, I'm like, there's no way in heck you're going to be able to make that without an accident. Well, that's what happened. So just, use your head a little bit, using my Southern West Virginia dialogue. Use your head. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. I do appreciate everybody that sent me that video. By the way, you can send Dave Allen Radio on Facebook or at Dave A70 on X. I wasn't blaming the driver. I was just questioning how it happened. And now I know. Tell you what we'll do. It's 2:43. We'll take a break, and we'll come back after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WV Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement, and we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Steig team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email steig-info@wealthenhancement.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
It's high school basketball season, and Metro News Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream Metro News Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on Metro News Television.
Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the show. 13 away from 3, the state's premier outdoor sports show, back and bigger than ever. 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, presented by Can-Am. Returns to Milan Park in Morgantown Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th. Over 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors. Over 200 vendors all in one place. Complete details, WVOutdoorSportsShow.com, a WVRC media event. Open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says the WVU Tech construction program sounds great, but they should also think about a program for building code enforcement, which many contractors don't care for. There are thousands of codes that contractors need to adhere to, and the majority do not. Most major jurisdictions in West Virginia have code enforcement, says a texter. Texas, think about how many times a lump of coal is handled before it's fed to a power plant. That's jobs. Pipelines deliver gas to a power plant without those jobs. Coal jobs can't compete. However, gas cannot be stockpiled like coal to serve those peak times beyond what can come through the gas pipeline. There will always be a place for coal, but it will take a back seat. Don't listen to politicians, West Virginia. Be proactive and evolve. Check says, if coal is so beneficial, why is every area of West Virginia where the dominant employer was coal plagued with poverty? Well, I don't know that you blame coal. I think you blame humans for that. Text says the Senate Finance Committee passed a bill that would give $8 million of bailout money, yes, bailout money, to the Hancock County school system. If passed by the full Senate, we, the taxpayers of West Virginia, will be footing the bill because of the gross negligence of the leaders in charge of the Hancock County school system. 140 employees over the state formula. Gave employees bonuses twice a year, illegal, according to the text, project for turf, overspent money on a high school. Several other school systems are in bad financial shape, partly due to the decline in student enrollment after using one-time COVID money to increase payroll. Now that funding has dried up. What is the state going to do when the next Hancock County wants a handout due to gross negligence? Says a texter. Text says, praying for your health, Dave. I appreciate that. So, update of sorts. When I leave this station today, I will be heading over to Kanawha City for a little work, not surgery, anything like that, just a procedure to see how far or if the cancer spread. And I got it. I'm, hashtag Logan County Strong. But I appreciate all of the people reaching out to me. It's kind of a new thing to me because 55 years old and I have been relatively healthy other than high blood pressure and having my appendix and my tonsils removed years and years ago. Pretty much all I've had and a little shoulder injury about a year and a half or so ago. So positive outlook, but I'll let you know. And if I'm not here tomorrow, you'll know why. Nah, I'm kidding. I'll be here tomorrow. One way or the other, I'll be here tomorrow. Text says, well, a lot of text from one line here. Text says, Dave just heard Levi, Columbia Sportswear, Old Navy, and other clothing stores raising prices over 50%. Text says, Dave, the people of West Virginia the votes needs to demand a copy of their vote in case the feds come in and seize your votes, like in Georgia. Texas heard you say you don't like the Olympics. I understand it's not for everyone, but pro and college sports are nothing but a business these days. That's why I love the Olympics. I just said I'm just never really into it. Please don't say that makes me a bad American. I just never really got into it. And I will say this: if you don't think that the Olympics are big business, you're sorely wrong. But you like what you like. Text says, Dave, I see where Republicans are coming after people's guns if they're gay or smoke pot. Take a legal gun to a protest. Now they want to take them to D.C. no matter what, if it's a legal gun or not, says the texter. Texas Senator Kavanaugh stands next to the president while he signs a bill taking away people's medical insurance and SNAP and our federal benefits, not say a word to Trump. And she's right beside it, says the texter. Text says, I am guilty of being mesmerized by the Nancy Guthrie case, and that sheriff needs to be replaced. The texter. Text said, heard them talking about high school sports on Talkline this morning. If it were up to me, you could transfer schools all you want, but you should have to sit out at least a year before playing sports, says the text. Well, I think if that were the case, you'd see a lot of kids that wouldn't be transferring. I think that 100%. I think a bigger issue, and we talked about this with Fred Persinger, is fan behavior at ball games. There was a big problem, for lack of a better term, in the game that Jeff Jenkins did last night, which I think was South Charleston, Parkersburg South. I might be wrong about that, but anyway, the game he did last night here in Charleston, there was a problem. And of course, we've all heard the story now. A fan in southern West Virginia goes to a ball game, back and forth. I think it was Princeton and Nicholas County, and they're yelling back and forth. And I guess the officials have had enough and tell the fan that he has to leave. And as they're escorting him out, a gun falls out of his pants. Well, guess what, dude? You've had a bad day because you cannot carry a gun on school grounds. So in addition to getting kicked out, in addition to probably being banned for life, you're in jail, and you're going to go to jail, and you're going to stay there for a while. Parents, grandparents, fans in general have just got to keep in mind this game is not about you. The game is not about you, and we are going to get to the point when fans are not going to be allowed to attend ball games if something doesn't change across this country. 2:53, we'll wrap it up after this.
Worried about paying for college? Metro News is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to WVMetroNews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to WVMetroNews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain States premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. A WVRC media event.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
5, 3, all the sports West Virginia is talking about.
Nikki Izzo-Brown, coach of the nationally ranked WVU women's soccer team.
I think they're just having a very good understanding of each other.
Join Kyle Wiggs, Brett Howe, and Coach Hunter weeknights for Sportsline on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra. Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thorough.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now. Touchdown! News.com.
Hoppy Kirchville is back with another State of Mind's interview. Metro News Television tomorrow night starts at 7. Hoppy sitting down with Mountaineer quarterback legend Jeff Hostetler. State of Mind's presented by Hope Gas and Greer Industries drops at 7 o'clock tomorrow night on Metro News Television, available on all of your devices, including Roku, LG Smart TVs, Fire TV, and Samsung Smart TVs as well. Metro News Midday, Stephanie Pauly and Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. Hey, look, it's Dave.
What about me?
Hey, Wakely.
I'm here to help with the content.
Okay.
You know, the smooth transition to the next program on the series of Daves on our network.
Yeah. Somebody said the other day, because we have a position available on Indeed, and it's in the news department, and I shared it on my own social media and said something like, come to work with this.
I saw that.
Somebody responded to me and said, does your name have to be Dave? And I said, yes, ma'am, your name has to be Dave. So I'm sorry, Cindy, or whatever your name is.
Soon to be Dave.
Your name is now Dave.
Future Dave.
What does this Dave have on the upcoming show?
We're going to talk about the weirdest thing you've ever taken on a trip.
Okay.
Weirdest thing you've taken.
How about weirdest person?
Well,
I was in the wrestling business, you know.
Well, that is true.
Right.
So we're talking about that. We've already got some good answers to it.
Hotline coming up on many of these same Metro News stations. I will be back tomorrow to do it all again. Until then, have fun and love somebody.